How are you doing? Okay, is my mic working? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So this is going to be a very short live stream, and I am just sharing about what I am learning about AI and loneliness. Last semester, I co-designed a syllabus on mindfulness, AI, and ethics, and I was one of the teaching assistants. And I got to also teach some of the modules. And one of the things that we learned about was that people are using AI tools to deal with loneliness, and companies are already building personal robots as companions. So the question is, what would be the future of companionship or friendship, things like friendships, relationships, and even how we connect with other people, how we connect with technology, given how AI has already become part of our lives, right? We are already using ChatGPT, Gemini AI from Google, ChatGPT from OpenAI, and there are already researchers done saying researchers that are talking about how these technologies are affecting people's health and well-being. Some are using in very productive ways. For others, they are like spending so much time and being over reliant on these AI tools in a way that are affecting how they are learning and then how they are connecting with other people. So, one of the things that I remember teaching and learning was that these personal robots, they help us a lot in the sense that there are people who are really lonely, and then maybe in the future, we will use these personal robots in contexts like senior care, you know, um, where there may be not many people to connect with our elders who are in senior care. And then also, there might be people who don't have many friends, right? And then they will need some people to connect. And so, having a personal robot, like having a pet dog, right? But the thing is, what are we doing with that, right? Um, it's still over reliant on this technology. We might be spending too much time and then not really um, giving enough time to connecting with real people. And the question is, do we really need to connect with other people? Right. But also there are cases of okay. Okay. Feel free to if you have any questions or any topic or anything that you would like to share in the chat. We're just learning together. I'm not an expert, so and I have some pages open that I was going through. For example, what is loneliness? So this is from Google search. Google is already seems like you see this symbol. It's using Gemini AI already to bring in information about what loneliness is. It seems to be a subjective, unpleasant feeling of lacking meaningful social connections. Interesting. Subjective, so it's within us, right? That feeling that we feel. And unpleasant feeling of lacking meaningful social connections. It's a mismatch between the social connections a person desires and the connections they actually have, and can occur even when surrounded by others. So even in the midst of people, it's not just when we don't have friends that we can feel lonely. Even when we are with other people, we can feel lonely. Interesting. Okay, it's not the same as being alone, and it can lead to various mental and physical issues. And then this is pointing to CDC. Let's see what they're saying. Just checking the chat. So it's saying social isolation and loneliness are widespread problems in the US, posing a serious threat to our mental and physical health. Okay, that's the same thing. Yeah, that's what we are learning. Interesting. Maybe do I wonder why is it? Yeah, me too. Well, 1 in 3 adults in the US. I guess it's a lot, right? Is it a lot? Feeling lonely, lack of social and emotional support. 1 in 4 adults. Okay, what is social isolation? It's when a person does not have relationships or contact with others and has little to no social support. So social can pose health risk to people even if they don't feel lonely. Okay, social isolation. So loneliness is feeling alone or disconnected from others. It is feeling like you do not have meaningful or close relationships or a sense of belonging. Even a person with a lot of, yeah, we saw that. A person with a lot of friends can feel lonely. I think I have felt that sometimes. Hanging out with friends but still feeling lonely. I think yeah, it's true. I think it's true. Okay, risk. Okay, certain conditions or experiences may increase a person's risk of social isolation. Yeah, I think these are true. If there is something that's been challenging to me, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, loneliness can also impact groups. How interesting. Chronic is that's been there for a longer time. Acute acute versus chronic. So acute, we can look up chronic disease meaning. Yeah, that a chronic disease is something that lasts for a longer period of time. And it's something contrasting to acute, like what is it? Acute stress. It's like stress that we feel sometimes versus chronic stress. So stress that stays there for longer term times of period is chronic stress, and acute stress is, it just you get here and there. And a chronic disease in the same way is that's been there for a longer period of time. Okay, so where were we? We're looking at the health effects of loneliness. So low income adults, young adults, older adults. Okay. Oh, here is health impacts: heart disease and stroke, depression and anxiety. I know depression and anxiety, depression specifically, because we spend so much time being depressed, and then sometimes it's hard to for some people to get out of bed, and therefore to do exercise and then to take care of themselves. And then in some traditions, spiritual traditions, the mind and the body are said to be like connected. A depressed mind will affect the body, like in the example of like spending too much time depressed and then not finding enough time to get out, get sunlight, and connect with other people, and then it affects the body. Dementia, interesting. So we know about isolation, social isolation, and loneliness. And then I think loneliness is different from, let's say, solitude. Because I know there are some people who go into the forest to meditate. It's not like they feel lonely in the sense of like lack of connection, but they are really staying away from people, spending a lot of times in the mountains meditating. And it comes out of their own willingness. So it's saying loneliness is a negative state of mind. Interesting. Loneliness is a negative state of feeling isolated and disconnected from others. Okay, often accompanied by sadness and a desire for social connection. Yeah, I have felt that sometimes. Sadness and longing for connection and belonging. Belonging, like wanting to belong to a group, spend time with friends. Okay, solitude is a chosen state of being alone, often seen as positive and enriching experience. Yeah, I spent in the morning in our backyard because it's so nice. Early in the morning, the birds are singing. I was sitting there trying to meditate and get the sun. Oh, like, do you mean solitude? Or do you feel lonely when when you're sick? What else do we have? Oh, it's a good article, interesting article. Solitude is not loneliness. Here is the key philosophical differences. Okay. I never knew how to pronounce his name, Arthur Schopenhauer. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that feels lonely. Hmm. When you have to spend, yeah, time away from your loved ones, family. Yeah. Okay. Research shows that solitude allows us to be more creative. Yeah, we are so busy these days, and it's, oh, yes, that's wonderful to hear. It's not it's not fun being sick. Oh, feels miserable. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that you haven't got sick in a while. Okay, to loneliness and solitude. So loneliness is different from, yeah, being alone is scary and dangerous place. Yep, I know that. That's why knowing the difference between solitude and loneliness is important. Yeah. So sometimes people are spending, for example, I'm sitting down quietly and someone is asking, why are you quiet? Is there something wrong? Actually, I'm spending time in solitude, like trying to feel quiet and enjoy the beautiful nature, maybe. So at that moment, I'm not lonely, and lonely in the sense of I am not feeling subject like loneliness in a negative sense. I'm enjoying nature and being quiet and things like that. So that could be solitude. Okay, space to think. Interesting. Oh, when solitude is a problem. Hmm. Okay. While solitude might sometimes be necessary for creativity, loneliness can often be the dark and fertile ground to depression. Okay. So sometimes if I have to write a paper, I go to the library and work on my paper, not talk to people much. So I guess that's creative. For creativity I need solitude, right? But I have to stay focused. But then, okay, they are contrasting with loneliness. Interesting. Okay. So it's difficult to tell them apart, right? Solitude versus loneliness. Okay, solitude. We choose. We pick solitude. We want to spend time on our own, where loneliness can feel forced. Yeah, depression. Wow, examine your most private self. That's very philosophical, very deep. In a way, in mindfulness, we do that too. We examine things that we are feeling. If we are feeling lonely, if we are feeling sadness. Remember the movie? What is it called? About emotions. Mm, oh, let me look up. Movie about emotions. Oh, Inside Out. Yes, introducing different emotions. Like when we are. So I'm looking this up because the article mentioned about examining our private self, and I think there is a video. There is a clip of the movie introducing emotions. So in mindfulness, if it gets better, if the practice gets better, we are able to examine our feelings and emotions. I like this. Happiness or joy. Ta-da, ta-da! Woo! Happy. No. Oh, sadness. I kind of love this. Red, angry. Oh, disgust. Yeah. Don't throw up. Oh, fear, 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 fear. Ah, H. Yep, fear. Oh, yay! So yeah, these are different emotions. that we have. So where are we? Who are we? It's fun. Okay, so we looked at what loneliness means, right? And then we differentiated loneliness from solitude. So loneliness is forced, solitude can be by choice. And then we also learned that loneliness can lead to chronic with physical and mental health issues. And then we also learned the word chronic disease, the term chronic disease. So chronic, something that lasts for an extended period of time. Extended period of time compared to a disease that as like feeling sick for one time and not feeling sick for some time, or like stress, chronic stress, acute stress which we feel once or twice, but it can also lead to chronic stress if we feel stressed out all the time. It can become chronic stress. Like if I'm constantly feeling stressed out at work, it will add up to something else and affect my health, my body might shut down, I might get easily sick. So from here, where do we go? So I have about loneliness, we learned about solitude. What else do I have? Oh, at MIT Media Lab, do you see it? They have a group called Personal Robots. I think I applied to their group to do my master's. I got rejected. It's okay. I got rejected. But they're doing some interesting work, like doing research on these personal robots to help people thrive, flourish, like using them as companions in the sense, probably not exactly as replacement for other humans, but we already use like our phones. We use our phones to help us learn to communicate with other people. In that way, I use my laptop, things like that. Oh, I use a camera to take pictures or film videos. So they're doing interesting work. The personal robots group. What else do they have? And then they're doing, yeah, about creativity, social intelligence. Interesting. So one of the questions about these personal robots is how can we make them compassionate, empathic, like they understand us, but at the same time also, we are complex human beings, like we saw with Riley's emotions. Our emotions are going up and down. So one of the questions is whether we can build these tools so that they have empathy, right? They're doing some interesting work. It's not most a lot about, I should say, it's not all the time about that these tools are taking away our connections to real people, but there are people who are using these tools to learn. I worked with middle school students, I think last summer at MIT. Yes, last summer. And then there is, what is it called? Octo Studio. Yeah, people sometimes they maybe in the near future people will have real personal robots to work with where people learn things. Yeah, so you see in the image, they're using the phone, and that phone can be an example of a personal robot, a tool that we use. Interesting. Okay, so personal robots, people can find meaning through them. They can help us be creative. We can learn using them, right, as companions, but maybe not to replace human companionship fully. I would still love to connect with my friends, make new friends, and not fully rely on robots. But it might be different for people. Might be different things for different people. Okay, what else do we have? Yeah, this is talking about AI helping us, but at the same time, oh, I love the robot. It's a cool robot. I would love to have one. So this is basically saying it can help us, but at the same time, it's taking away jobs from people. Yeah, this professor who is now, I think, if I remember, the dean of something at MIT. I think this. I love this quote. It has to help us unlock our human potential, unlock, help us flourish, be better human beings. I'll keep this open. I'll save this for later. I want to read it. Okay, title. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'm gonna keep it for later. I'm going to keep this for later. Okay. Oh, why did I look this up? I think I saw this in an article. Oh, yeah, replica. They make us. I think they also make personal robots, right? Replica. Interesting. I haven't tried this. An AI companion who is eager to learn and would love to see the world. Interesting. And then this is a CEO of. This is funny. I wouldn't love it for me. No. Yeah, this is just an interview. And I think this is something like replica to character.ai. So let's check about section. Wow, it's asking me to log in even. Interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Future of AI companions. What is it saying? Yeah, forming and maintaining friendships can be hard. You know, we it takes such a long time to make friends, but then sometimes friendships can fall apart so quickly. But some friendships they last for longer time. Yeah, human interaction is increasingly digital. A lot of the times I meet friends outside and then we share our social profiles. We connect through Facebook, Instagram, and then we are not really connecting that much in person again. We just watching each other's stories, profiles, liking their pictures. Yeah, this is true. A lot is digital. Oh, this is a quote from Zuckerberg. People just don't have as much connection as they want. They feel more alone a lot of the time than they would like. Interesting. AI friends and AI therapists. I don't know. Maybe it might be helpful for some people, but what do you think? AI friends and AI therapists. Maybe use them as a like to help us make friends rather than them being the friends or therapists. Well, I do ask a lot of questions from ChatGPT to help me with things in life. That's funny. But I make my own judgment too. I don't rely fully on ChatGPT. I ask something and then I get a response and I decide whether I want to accept that or not. Yeah, yeah. We could yeah, use them to make friends. I think a phone is an example too. There is already AI features integrated into our phones and everything to help us make friends. Like if we think AI as a general term, like even YouTube algorithm like make helping me find people who are playing chess. It's kind of the work of AI too there behind there. So in that way, AI helping us to make friends. But for me personally, I wouldn't rely on them fully as friends. I love actual people, connecting with actual people. They have such complex stories, they have experiences, they have been to different countries, they like different kind of food. I can learn about maybe they like to cook, dance, play soccer, so many things. Sometimes things don't go well with people, but still, that's something beautiful. Even though sometimes in person friendships don't work always. Yeah. What else? Oh, the link between chatbot power users and loneliness. I like the power users. It's like Power Rangers, the Avengers, like the Avengers. Okay, this study from OpenAI and MIT explored how users who engage in emotional interaction with ChatGPT. We learned this. We studied this in our class last semester. And when you're asking something from ChatGPT, you say, "Oh, thank you." It says more about us than about ChatGPT. Like that we are polite, and that when we are interacting with actual people, we would be polite. It's just in me to thank, right? Well, experience. So people who are have emotional interactions with ChatGPT experience changes to their own emotional states and behaviors. Interesting. So they ask the question, do you consider ChatGPT a friend? Try making this bigger. So conversing with, so this is, okay. Conversing with ChatGPT is more comfortable for me than face-to-face interactions with others. Control users, power users. What is this color saying? Oh, it's down here. So dark red is strongly disagree. Okay. Red is disagree. White is in the middle. Light green agree. Dark green strongly agree. Oh, okay. I will feel upset. Oh, this is an image. If I lose access to ChatGPT for a period of time. 28%. That's a lot, I think. 29%. Wow. I consider ChatGPT to be a friend. Okay, 10%, 22%. Be kind of in the middle. Power users, wow, 25% and 16%. And here power users that they will be upset 29%. This is some interesting study. What else? Some other data there. I think I will save this too for later. I'll close this. Okay. Okay. I have 2 articles for later. Nice. Oh, loneliness. Oh, the ending. So, finding a place in society for AI companions. Given MIT OpenAI MIT studies findings, there is a chance that Zuckerberg's plan to kill loneliness through AI could backfire. Interesting. To the loneliness epidemic. Oh yeah, there was a report some time ago about loneliness epidemic. Yeah, they do really love ChatGPT. I personally use it a lot, but if it breaks, I'm okay with it. I'm not like I can live my life without ChatGPT too. But I think some people are so invested in using them. Oh wow, this is interesting. Facebook used algorithms and gamification to increase engagement and that it contributes to users' loneliness. Hmm. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. Maybe if you ever use it as like something as an how they say to do something, help us do something, rather than fully emotionally invested in ChatGPT and these tools. Yeah, Yeah, people really love ChatGPT. Some people. It can feel like someone is responding to you, if you're getting a response from ChatGPT. And some people customize ChatGPT to respond to in certain ways. But I personally wouldn't rely too much. Again, I said I love real people and being outside. But it's good for learning, helping us to learn. But even when we get some information from ChatGPT and other tools, they are called generative AI tools. We should fact check, I think. I saw some articles, and in our class, we also discussed that there are lawyers who are using ChatGPT and then they are not fact checking. So they get into trouble. So ChatGPT is not correct all the time. So we can use them as to help us in certain ways, but probably not be emotionally too much invested. Maybe use AI to help us make friends, real friends. I would be some behind that rather than like, oh, being AI being fully like replacing my friends. No, I don't want that. Yeah, interesting. So this is another article. Interesting. Let's make this bigger. So loneliness is a significant change of meaningful. Again, it has something to do with really meaning and belonging, feeling feeling that there is not much meaning in connecting with people. Feeling, yeah. What else? Oh, this is from Reddit. This comment. Pretty sad that people have become so intolerant one another. Intolerant of one another. It's funny. It's like we don't like each other enough that we are turning to AI tools, personal robots. As a wise man once said, who is that wise man? Okay, interesting. Oh, this is from Harvard Gazette. Lifting a few with my chatbot. Oh yeah, I love her writings. She writes about loneliness, connections in the digital age, about connecting in the digital age, about loneliness, things like that. And I think she's kind of, yeah, she's not fully against, but says take care, like watch out, don't be over reliant. She has very interesting books. We read some of her articles for our class, AI class last semester. Oh yeah, she has a book called The Empathy Diaries, where she says, only humans can feel empathy, not robots. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, chat AI chatbots serve as therapists and companions. I have a friend who said that her therapist just sent her some response from ChatGPT on what to do, and she didn't like it, and so she dropped her. Now therapists are using ChatGPT these days. What does it say? Oh, this is from American Psychological Association. Yeah, we know AI is changing every aspect. Oh, psychology. Well, we can look at this later. Anyway, yeah, that's it. So it seems we are feeling more and more lonely, even though we are connected through technology, mobile phones, apps, so many ways to stay connected with people, but still, it seems we are feeling more and more lonely. We shut down. Um, we are feeling more and more lonely, and there are some companies trying to take advantage of that by introducing chatbots and solutions in a way that feels like a replacement of human connection. If that is the case, I think that feels bad. That's just my personal opinion. It's good if these chatbots and robots help us connect with other people, help us learn, but not good in my own biased view if we are too reliant on them and not connecting, and we are not connecting with our family and friends or spending time to make friends. And we learned that using, like, loneliness can affect us in so many ways. Maybe that could be a good thing too. Like, if loneliness leads to bad physical and mental health, and people find it difficult to connect with people, other people, maybe it's good for them having these robots so that they don't get bad health, like physically and mentally. And later, when they find the energy and the courage, they can maybe take them out of loneliness and depression and find ways to connect with people and flourish and go out. Yeah, that's just my opinion. So, thank you everyone for joining. I am just sharing what I'm learning. Let me know if you see anything interesting. Reach out to me. And later this evening, I will be live streaming again, but playing chess. So, if you want to play chess with me, join me this evening, 7. Probably I'll change it to 8 because I'm going to a birthday. One of my friend's child is getting 5 years old. So it's his birthday, so I have to be there. But I'm planning to live stream at 7. If I change it to 8, I will change the time there. Thank you for joining. It's been wonderful learning together. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the day.